Okay, everybody. Kind of slightly over enthusiastic there. I'm not really that excited. Week 11 is done. Good times and bad. This is the last version of our little weekly thing that will be in the regular season. Yes, this is the last week regular season. There is a lot, and I do mean a lot, that can go on. So I will save you all the trouble of worrying about what happened this week, because you probably already know. We're going to burn through that, and we are going to talk playoff possibilities, projections, and all of that. So, burning through it quickly. Myself, 110. Estes, 80. Good times for me, bad times for Estes. RG3 and the Bengals defense got me 26. Good day for them. Russell Wilson got Estes 22. A side note is the first time in a while that his quarterback has left the field healthy after the game. Well, applaud you there, Estes. That's a moral victory. And good for Russell Wilson. So, Cliff almost pulled it out against Ashton, 97-101. I was really needing you there, Cliff. Was not aware until after the fact. Shows how much I kind of paid attention this week. Ashton only played 8 players. So, Cliff, your victory was, even had you had it, it wouldn't have been, well, I mean, a victory is a victory, but there would have been an asterisk by it. I'm okay with that, though. Cam Newton got Cliff 32. LaShawn McCoy got Ashton 26. The new toy of Cliff, Cam Newton, in case you didn't know, he traded Kaepernick to Seth for that exchange of players and a draft pick, I believe. Matt played Germ. 121-94. Calvin Johnson, 29. Matthew Stafford had a good day at 26, but all those points went straight to Calvin Johnson. Sucks when that happens, Germ. Not a whole lot you can do about it. Joe played Seth. Seth can't close the deal. 91-80. Joe beat him. Antonio Brown for the Pittsburgh. The Pirates, yeah. The Pittsburgh Steelers, 26. Peyton Manning got 16. So, in that blockbuster deal that sent Peyton Manning to Seth's team, as of now, Matt definitely reaping the benefits. Seth, not so much. Tied for the low person. So, enough of this week. We are in the playoffs, like the mood now. This time of year, it's a range of emotions running through me. There is glee, excitement, joy. I don't know what else. Happiness. I'm giddy. But then, I mean, even I would even go as far as to say like 60% aroused. Right around that mark. But then there's also like anxiety, like nervousness, fear, dread, and just a kind of like, constipation, kind of like knots down in here. I don't like it. Some bad things can happen. What do I mean by this? Well, just to summarize, Seth, Matt, Ashton, me. 4 of us were like in a bubble. If the playoffs started today, that would be the 4 in the playoffs. Sadly, the playoffs do not start today. They start a week from today. As far as when lineups and stuff you could set and change. Why is that a bad thing? Well, I'll put it simply. Joe is at 6-5. He really is. 6-5. That's 1 game back. So, if Joe wins this week, and one of those 7-4 loses, which 2 of them are going to lose. I'll explain the schedule later in a second. Joe can hurdle them. Not can, but will hurdle them, because Joe owns the tiebreaker by a very vast margin. Whoever plays Joe obviously runs up the score. Joe, you need to crank up your D. Which I'll even go into a little bit more detail. Seth plays Matt. Ashton plays myself. If I lose, all those weeks of celebrating Cliff, Chop, not having good scores, it's coming back to bite me. Basically, if me or Ashton lose, we're both actually fairly close, so blame the division, not the victor. Basically, whichever one of us loses, if Joe does win, he is going to hurdle. He's going to be in the playoffs. Seth, Matt, you guys are probably safe. I mean, realistically, you guys are probably safe. It's just not very likely that, unless myself or Ashton, whoever wins, scores like 200 points, that would be about the only chance that you guys are going to miss the playoffs. So, you can sleep a little bit easier. So that's what's going on at the top. Jerem, I applaud you. You had a good run this year. A vast improvement over last year. With the exception of the couple of weeks that you were sulking because of a loss to where you didn't set a lineup and only compounded your sorrows, you had a pretty good year. You were rolling fine. I think you've lost 4 in a row, 5 in a row, somewhere around there. It was going all fine and dandy, really, until Aaron Rodgers broke his collarbone. That's something you can't help. So, I mean, it was a good run. It's a moral victory in itself. I mean, you're kind of in fantasy purgatory now. Basically, this week, I'm just going to reiterate, you better set a lineup, and you better set a good one. Or I'm going to do something so awful to you that it won't even be, well, I'm going to mention it. I don't know if there'd be a possible, like a worse form of evil than what I would do to you if you do not field a competitive team this week. By that, I do mean no Canadian football players, no college players, no lacrosse players, or frickin' Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. Basically, if you do not field a legal team of 9 players against Joe, I am literally going to let that awful woman, who I will not name, into your apartment at night, let her tie you to the bed, ravage you until you inseminate her. Yes, I will do that. So, basically, set a team. Although you cannot move up or down in playoff tier, you have an effect on the season. You have meaning. That's what everybody wants, is meaning. So, Jeremy, do it. Lastly, Cliff and Estes, our friends this year, everybody's friends, they are officially set. Cliff missed out by 4 points of having a possibility of jumping Chop for the Chop. But Cliff and Estes, week 14, you guys are officially set for a showdown. Like ELO once said, you guys are headed for a showdown. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah. It's going to happen week 14. You guys are battling it out for the Chop. The battle of fantasy impotence, which you guys have fought over for the award all year. So, week 14, you better get it together. So, again, what's going down this week? I play Ashton. A lot on the line in that game. Estes plays Cliff. Moral victories, possibly. Joe plays Chop. A battle for a playoff spot. Joe wins, he's basically in. Seth, Matt, playoff seeding mostly. Possibly playoff lives. Again, probably not going to happen, but it is possible. So, I wish all of you luck. Ashton, I would suggest that you, I don't know, do some kind of kinky dance or something while Trent is setting your lineup so he gets distracted and makes a bad decision. I don't even know if, I don't know what goes on over there. I don't know who actually would even watch it. I don't know who, whenever anything is posted on Ashton's behalf, I don't know if that's actually Ashton or if it's Trent. It's kind of weird. It's confusing. But that's neither here nor there. So yeah, everyone, week 12, it's all coming down to this. So next time you see me, it will be playoff time. Peace.